Okay, Parker, you don't know this, but right after the second day of shooting, when I had 2 hours of sleep in my car in front of Case's house, going into the third day of shooting, on my way up, I tried to record all of my thoughts that I would have put in a journal had I had time to do a journal during any of this shoot. I recorded all of my thoughts about day 1 and day 2 of shooting. And if you really want to talk about it, day 1 was the Arlen section of the movie, basically the first part of the movie, minus inserts. Yeah. And then day 2... oh my gosh.
Day 2.
Am I forgetting what day 2 was?
It's all a blur. Day 2.
What did we do on day 2?
What was day 2?
I remember day 2 was really difficult.
Was day 2 Case's house?
No, day 3 was Case's house.
Oh my god. What was day 2?
I don't know.
Joe and I don't remember what day 2 was.
I said it in my delirious state what day 2 was. And I was like, fuck, it was terrible. It was awful. It was like I remember it was a really long day.
Did we go where did we go?
Okay, so we did the Arlen stuff.
Oh my gosh.
We did.
I'm starting to get worried about us.
Shit.
Don't worry, guys. We're making a really good movie. we know what we're doing.
I will know. Oh shit! Those stills that you sent.
Oh yeah.
Those will tell us.
That'll tell us.
That'll give us something.
Good thinking.
But before we talk about day 2 again, we'll get it from our. This is Parker Peterson, by the way, our director of photography.
Hello, everyone.
And let's figure out what the hell we did. What have we done? Okay.
Day 2.
So today is day 6.
Just driving with.
No, that's day 1, man.
That's day 1.
Yeah. There's a whole day, man.
That was day 3.
Yeah, that was day 3.
What was day 2?
What was day 2?
Day 2 is a non-existing day.
Oh man.
Let's see. Okay, it would have been Tuesday, right?
It would have been Tuesday, yes. Tuesday at 9:13. We were talking about the other place.
I'm not seeing a call sheet for Tuesday.
From White Shall we see?
I have Monday and then I have Wednesday in my email.
Oh my gosh. What
What
is happening? You totally have a Tuesday, man. You gotta have a Tuesday in your call sheet.
I don't see one in my email. I have a Monday and then it goes to Wednesday. Oh, maybe that's just the day it's sent. Okay, Monday. So that's Monday.
Center Street in Provo, that was day 1. Oh my gosh. Alright, this is ridiculous. It would have been sent on Monday.
Wednesday.
Call time confirmed.
Wednesday was Case's house.
Let's see. Call time for... Why did we know have call time on Tuesday?
Why we know have call time?
What the heck?
I am so confused.
It is so bizarre that I cannot remember Tuesday.
Should I message Paige? Our producer will know.
Yeah, but she's at work right now.
Oh.
That's our problem. Okay, so day 1. Day 1 of shooting, Parker. What were your thoughts throughout that day?
It was amazing. No, it was good. I think the first day is always kind of
I
rough.
just remember what day 2 is.
You did?
I did.
What is it?
We drove to Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
We drove around to random businesses, and then eventually we drove to Wyoming.
Oh, okay. Okay, that was... Okay.
Am I crazy?
No, that was
or
day...
was that day 3?
No, I think that was day 2.
Oh, crap.
I think. I don't know anymore.
Oh, my gosh.
We filmed so much already.
No, and then day 3 was the killing. So he was driving around for day 2.
Yeah, and yesterday was day
3. Oh, yeah, because I did go to Case's house one day where I didn't sleep in front of his house.
Yeah.
So that would be day 2.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were
Okay,
at Case's house.
I think we're caught up to what... Okay, day 1.
So day 1 was...
What happened on day 1 in your estimation?
We killed a pedophile. Not really, just in the movie.
Yeah.
We kill Arlen, which is the opening scene of the film.
Yeah.
And that first day, we followed him around, like, to his job, where you have a cameo,
Yes.
and you're...
What was it like being little bitches about the stealing locations? Now we just don't even care.
we used to be very scared about it, and now we just don't give.
And no one cares.
Yeah, I don't
That's
care.
our clue, guys.
And
Unless you're at, like, a secure location with, like, security officers,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
nobody cares if you're shooting.
No one cares. We even had cops go by us on day 2.
That was day 1.
Day 1?
Yeah, day 1.
And we had a car mount on.
We had the car mount on the thing. I already told the story, but you can tell it again.
Oh, you already told. Yeah. Cops went by us. They eyeballed us with the car mount. We just pretended like we didn't see them. And then they must have had something better to go do because they didn't even pull us over.
Then our lead actor, Eric, was like, you guys are being such wusses. I bet they wouldn't even care.
Yeah, because he knows he's not going to get in trouble.
Yeah, I'll be the one who gets the ticket.
Going to be the director, yeah.
So anyway, that was day 1 was a long, tough day. It was 12 and a half hours of shooting.
Day 1 was long.
Felt exhausted at the end. I did
Yeah.
not get any sleep the night before. I got like 5 hours.
I got a solid 7, I think.
No, that day I got like 2.5, I think.
Yeah, because you had the concert.
Yeah, 2.5, 5, 2.5, 15. That was my pattern for my
Then you
sleep.
made up for it, yeah.
I did, and then I had another 2.5 hour again.
Really?
I'm killing myself.
What
here.
about last night?
Last night I had a good 8 hour. Like I'm back on. We're good here.
We're good.
All right, so day 2 we go up to Case's place. Case is our director of photography, but also his.
I'm the director of photography.
Sorry, production designer.
I'm the director of photography.
I am. And we are also using his house as a location, and we're using Parker's vehicle as one of our vehicles in the movie, and my vehicle is one of our vehicles in the movie, and my friend Drew, his vehicle is one of the vehicles in the movie, and we keep on having to switch out cars.
Independent filmmaking.
Yes, and it is interesting. But we had our guy who plays Thomas. Mm-hmm. We had a bunch of. There's a lot of watching and following people, and we did all that stuff in the first few days here. We just finished doing that basically.
Yeah.
Our first week is all the following exterior in the car like slow car chases, sort of things.
Yeah, it's like car stalks.
Yeah, car stalking. And we did that all in a row. So the second day that we shot, we drove all the way up from Salt Lake City which is where we were shooting a lot of the Thomas section, we call it. Mm-hmm. And we drove all the way up to Wyoming. At least me and you did.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain, the process of that?
Yeah, so, we kind of we cheated it with the actors so that we could let them go sooner and so we didn't have to force them to drive to Wyoming. Even though it was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
but yeah.
No air conditioning in the hero car.
Oh, God. No, yeah, that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
No air conditioning was tough. We're in the middle of Utah in August, so you can imagine. But then, yeah, we just cheated with them, the shots of the actors' faces, and then me and Joe just drove to Wyoming ourselves to get shots of the actual Welcome to Wyoming sign.
Yeah, so there's 2 shots that we've been repeating over and over again, right?
Yeah.
So either with a car mount or inside of the car itself, you're going to be looking at the actor's face as he watches or follows whatever he's following.
Yeah. And then
the shot of what he's looking at.
What they see, yeah.
And so we kept on... What we did with Wyoming is I told Parker I had to be in the car in front. At least I thought I had to. What I told Parker was, just film Eric's face and then film the outside and just kind of go back and forth, whatever looks cool, and we'll be able to put it together in the edit. It'll probably last 30 seconds on film, but...
Even though it took us hours and hours.
And we'll just basically go all the way up to Wyoming. And then at a certain point I realized, we can shorten this a little bit by having his reaction that he's looking at the Welcome to Wyoming sign, pulling over the side of the road, and then he decides not to keep following this guy into another state.
Yeah.
That's part of the scene. So we just had Eric's face kind of pantomime that section, but then once we met up with the others, we then had to actually, me and Parker, just ourselves, we just went up there and did the actual driving to the Wyoming sign and then flipping a Yui.
Yep. And then I bailed out of the car on the side of the freeway with semi-trucks blowing by, almost clipping you. There's like no shoulder. And then I filmed Joe as Eric's body double, which you can't really see. You can't see him in the car, so it works. So it's Eric, our main actor, flipping a U-turn, deciding not to follow Thomas into Wyoming. So you actually have a lot of cameos in this, but you just don't see you.
So day 2 was a lot easier than day 1, but it was really long still. I remember that. And then not having very much sleep for 2 days in a row was really tough. Then I really...
And then you really made up for it.
Yeah. No, not yet. We're talking about now. We got to talk about day 3.
Oh, yeah. You still hadn't got...
I could not get to sleep. Paige and I were... Paige, our producer, we were having another freaking texting fight. And so I was staying up a little longer than I should have been. Basically, our rule now is just not to text during the production. We just gotta...
No texting during off hours.
No dramatic texting between me and Paige for a while. The film stuff is tough. I mean, like, I'm really good friends with Paige, right? Really close. And so, like, adding the movie stress on top of everything is just like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So just trying to keep our heads straight here. But we did have some kind of, I can't remember what it was, but we did have some kind of big argument over the phone. And I was just like, I was reeling from that. Then I had anxiety about the shoot the next day. And then because I just had that for the first 3 days of shooting, basically, just like constant anxiety. And then I drank a Diet Coke or a Diet Mountain Dew like later in the day, like at 7. I was really thirsty with our drive.
With caffeine.
And I'm on a no-carb diet because I think they're causing me migraines. I think sugar's causing me migraines. I'm trying to find out. I was on a no-carb diet before to lose weight.
Yeah.
But now I actually have to not eat sugar for a while to see if this is in fact the case. Anyway, so the only sodas that are diet
have caffeine,
that are widely available have caffeine. So when we were driving on our way back and I was really thirsty but wanted soda,
Mountain Dew.
It was Mountain
Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew time. So and we had Chinese food that day, and like my stomach was like stuffed.
Paradise Buffet.
And so there was no way I was getting to sleep that night. And at about 1 a.m. I was like, oh, my alarm is set for 3:30. And it's a 1 hour drive, basically, from where I'm staying to the location that day.
Yeah.
And the call time was at 5 a.m. because we were doing the night scene in the morning instead of at night.
Yeah.
Which I still want to murder Paige for making us do.
Yeah. It's done now. It's done.
So at a certain point I said, I can't do it. I just have to go there now, and hopefully I'll go there now, and then I can sleep in the car and then wake up at the call time.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
That's what you did.
And I took a piss in his neighbor's bush in the middle of the night.
You did not tell me this.
No one was in the bush during the shooting. Anyway, that was fun. I actually got an okay night. I guess that was like 2.5 hours. So over the span of 3 days, I had 10 hours of sleep.
You know, like a normal amount for one night.
Yeah.
In 3 days.
So that little 2.5 hour nap was nice, I guess. Paige had a similar thing. She had stayed up the entire night because she had a night shift at her work and then started the shoot. And so I believe we counted it up. I had 10 hours. She had 11 hours between us on those 3 days.
She had a whole 11.
Yeah. And then we filmed a bunch of stuff, including like we have him following our lead character gets stuck in was a van, now it's a Tahoe.
Chevy Tahoe.
So he gets stuck in there with the child locks on. When he's trying to follow someone and starts snooping around their stuff, he has to go into the van, and then he has to hide from another person within the same vehicle.
Yeah.
Which I thought would be a really cool sequence, but it's
Yeah.
like filled with trash and stuff. And so
Yeah.
Eric, it's fun putting Eric through torture. I realized.
Yeah,
it's
Eric-
fun seeing him. Yeah, go ahead.
Joe loves nothing more than splattering blood on the lead actor's face. Well, anyone's face probably, but especially Eric's face.
Especially Eric's face. So we have Eric like crawling through everything and all the boxes, moving stuff out of the way, sunflower seeds
Yeah,
spilling all
we
over
basically
the place.
just kept our trash from the previous 3 days of filming. Joe's like, don't throw any of your trash away.
Plus some like boxes that Case,
Yeah.
our production designer, also put in there as like the
Strewn about.
one of the guys that he's following is his work basically, and he drops off these
These empty boxes,
these empty
that,
boxes
that we pretend are filled with
we
stuff.
pretend are filled with stuff. Anyway, and that was like part of that cuts in with the Wyoming section pretty well. But also we had another part where he kills another guy that day, and we went to Case's work really early.
Yeah.
And just to the back of the work, we shot our first fight scene, which is a really short fight scene,
Yeah.
but
intense
a
stuff.
whole lot of blood.
Yeah.
And I wish Eric was here because he likes telling this story.
Yeah.
I got to use my blood cannon.
Homemade blood
A
cannon.
homemade blood cannon, which is a air compressor plus custom tube filled with Caro syrup with red and black food dye.
Yep. To look like blood.
And it looks just like blood.
It looks just like
crazy.
blood.
When it's wet, it looks just like blood. It starts
Yeah.
drying out. It
goes
looking,
pink,
Yeah, it
yeah.
goes pink.
But-
Which is the same recipe that they made the blood out of Evil Dead for.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
minus coffee creamer. They put coffee creamer in it to make it like thicker.
Thicker. Huh.
But yeah, I honestly tried the coffee creamer thing. I think it looks better without it.
Cool.
But-
yeah, it looks great.
We got our blood cannon. I got to spray Eric in the face twice with blood and was dying of laughter.
Yeah. Hopefully we can show.
And then
people
Eric pulls me aside that one time. He's like, "Hey Joe, I got some directing advice for you. You're gonna humiliate your actor if you laugh at them during the take." I basically told him to stop being a wuss, but
He is great. He is great.
He was great about it.
Somehow he kept a very stern
somehow he was
face.
able to keep a straight face while getting like blasted in the face with Caro syrup.
and with Joe's laughter in the background.
Maybe we'll keep that clip. I know Eric wants you to clip it and put it out.
I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Well, let's do that then.
Yeah, we've never seen Joe as happy as he was at that
I
moment.
don't think that's true, but honestly, that's why I'm doing this, man. Anyway, the first 2 days of shooting were really hard. The second day was not like physically hard, but it was like
long.
it was just long, and I got car sick in the back of the back of the front car,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, that was awful. And then we had to be in the no air conditioning
Ugh.
car on the way back, which you had to be in the whole time.
Yeah, I lost a lot of electrolytes on day 2.
And so just exhausted. But day 3, despite having no sleep, I had a really good time on day 3.
Yeah, day 3 was good.
And it was a lot of fun. And then day 4. Oh, yeah. I got 15 hours of sleep.
Oh yeah,
I got
that's when you
home.
sleep.
And I went to sleep at
Like 6:30.
6:30. And I woke up... Oh...
Call time wasn't until like 11.
Not
I
15
think,
hours.
so-
13 hours of sleep. I woke up at 7:30.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we filmed on that day?
That was the late call time, right? With
Yeah.
11. So that day we did. I think that was more stuff at Case's house.
Was it more
Right.
stuff at Cases?
Pretty sure, because that was Thursday.
Something seems wrong here.
I think it was.
No. It was Spanish Fork.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the farm.
Yep.
Paige's friend that she
Yeah.
grew up with, their parents' farm.
The third person that Moses has to just watch and then kill
yeah.
in the movie.
And this is like, he lives
Yeah.
in a little camper.
Yeah.
Down in the middle
The
of
camper
nowhere.
that I got from my mom and dad the day before we started shooting.
Yeah.
And
That's
now
Dalen's
it's
home.
filled with flies. But yeah, we had to take it over to Spanish Fork, which is just south of Provo if you're not from Utah. And in this little rural patch of Spanish Fork, and he's got to watch this guy from across the field. There's also like a car switch that was in there, so I had to switch out the car again with me and Drew.
Yeah.
We just had to straight up switch cars.
Yeah.
There were mudslides in the canyon the night before because there was a big fire, and then there was tons of rain, in a row in the last couple weeks. And so we were watching these irrigation sprinklers that are covering these farms, and it's just
mud water. And I washed my car the night before, of course, after filming. Cause I'm like, it's my parents' car, so I'm like, I'll wash it and make them happy.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I'm getting sprayed with mud water.
We only had one actual scene between actors in that whole day.
Yeah, when Dalen, the third.
The rest of it was literally just watching.
Yeah.
So Eric came later. He had another acting gig.
Yeah.
And Jason Wixom, who plays Dalen. That's the name of the character. Named on someone I knew in high school.
Just a creepy name, so it works. Sorry for anyone who's named Dalen.
I hope he doesn't hear this. Anyway, they're like... They were just watching each other, and then one guy, he confronts Moses, and that's the only scene we did. But that was a super... We took our time that day. We should have done that a lot faster than we did.
Yeah, we were all
but
kind of hungover from
we were
getting
beat,
sleep.
Right? Man, it's just a long day.
Yeah. It is what it is.
And so we did that, and it was just fine. And it worked out just fine, including we got like 2 night shots at actual night, not
at the crack of dawn.
Not ass crack of dawn in the morning, God. And so we did that, and that was fine. And I was like, okay, another good day of shooting, finally. And then yesterday. So there's this thing called Evermore that's going on, and it's employing basically every Utah actor.
Literally every Utah actor that I know is part of Evermore.
Is a part of Evermore.
I don't even know what it is. It's some fantasy.
It's like a
park thing.
You know, like back east, they do like they'll have like a Civil War fort. Yeah, they'll have actors playing like
Utah. We do Evermore, which is fantasy.
Because we don't have anything cool like that in Utah, apparently.
Yep.
We have to make things up with like fantasy creatures. So it's like a fantasy themed,
like a park. I think you basically you just pay to come in.
Actors that are playing.
Yeah.
It's like LARP, like professional LARPing.
Yeah, and you get to just come and like experience it. I think as a customer, I don't know, or maybe you participate as
so they're each going to have their characters, right? And there's going to be some sort of, I'm sure there's some sort of storyline or whatever. It's weird. I should probably ask Eric more about it, but there's signs for it everywhere, and all I see is they're taking Eric away from us. That's what I see. So we had to cut yesterday short too, because of it. So we had a giant fight scene planned for yesterday. We had to go across the lake with the camper again. So the truck and the camper, and then this car that we're sitting in right now, my car.
Yeah.
And we had to go and just do as much of the fight scene as we could within 4 hours. So it was a nice short day.
Yeah, it was a nice short day, yeah.
But now we know we have to come back to it and match it, and we don't know when we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And I knew this was going to happen, but Paige was doing her, we can do it. And then after we were done, she's like, I knew we couldn't do it, but I had to tell you that. I was like, oh, thanks, Paige.
Thanks, Paige.
Appreciate that.
Damn you, Evermore. Damn you.
And then I got 2.5 hours sleep that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Partially out of stupidity. And I had a really long phone call with Paige again. So we were doing that, and then, so I made Paige not get much sleep that night.
Nice.
Nice. And then today, or no, wait, am I getting this mixed up? No, I'm sorry. That was the sleep from the night before.
Yeah.
The night before yesterday. I didn't get much sleep. But I felt fine because I had the 13 hours. I think that was also part of the reason why I was so awake.
Yeah.
I don't know why Paige was up so late. I know that's why I was.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you about my sleeping time. I'm thinking you're getting like 5 hours.
We're learning more about Joe's sleeping time.
Are you getting consistently like 5 hours a night, Parker?
I would say between 6 or 7. Yeah.
Oh, real sleep.
Yeah, man.
Parker Peterson gets actual sleep.
I'm living in luxury. I have to be awake to focus on all the important camera stuff.
Oh my gosh.
A lot goes into it.
Yeah, and then today, we were going to have a bunch of scenes today. But yesterday, Paige had realized something about the script and had come up with a really cool idea. Mm-hmm. And we also knew that her schedule and Eric's schedule were not going to line up because of Evermore, once again.
Damn you, Evermore!
Damn you, Evermore. And so, we decided we only had one scene we needed to shoot today. And so, while Paige is at work right now, we took Eric out to the lake. He's supposed to be following another vehicle. We got all the other shots on different days.
Yeah.
Including yesterday when the actors had left. Parker, myself, and Paige got some other footage.
Yeah.
And then we just watched Eric drive, and it took an hour and a half total.
Yeah.
To get it done. And then we get a day off tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what's interesting here is besides the fight scene that we definitely need to come back and finish.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done like half of it, kind of.
We did, I think, just under half of it.
Yeah.
There's like three complicated shots we need to get with Eric, plus 2 bullet hits that we need to hit Eric with. Yeah. And then, because we did everything with the Jason side, and then we got to do him, and then we got a match when they're running after each other, or when he's running away and Jason catches up to him and then tackles him, and then there's a big, huge fist fight. And we have it. We choreographed the fist fight before. It's on YouTube Unlisted right now. I've got to share.
We're gonna show that.
I'm going to share it to Indiegogo supporters. I'm not going to share that to everybody.
You guys are lucky.
Yeah, this is. I'll probably put this on my old podcast feed. But anyway, so. We know we have other stuff to get, but besides that, we did the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Yeah.
Hard stuff when it comes to, and I was talking to Eric about this.
Yeah.
When it comes to me, you, and Paige.
Yeah.
This is the hard stuff.
And now it's going to be kind of hard for the actors the next couple weeks. It's going to be more of like the acting chops.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's only 36 minutes of dialogue in this movie. We found out.
Yeah.
Because
which is awesome.
Honestly, usually I do write wall-to-wall dialogue, but this movie I decided not to.
Yeah.
When I wrote the script, and then this was kind of like my first good script. So, maybe that says something about my dialogue.
Good scripts.
I don't know.
Good scripts.
I think Emmanuel's Song was a pretty good script.
Yeah, man.
That was wall-to-wall dialogue, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it suited the movie, though. But this is more kind of akin to, like, Drive with Ryan Gosling, Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
So it works.
It's definitely a lot like Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's going to be easier for us because it's going to be less camera setups.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe some lighting prep for an hour every day.
Yeah.
But
besides that, it's
that's kind of fun for me, and we'll be able to actually see the monitor because we'll be inside.
Right.
Which will be nice. Now I can actually look over your shoulder and make you do corrections. I've been trusting your framing this entire time.
I've been messing up the whole time, and Joe doesn't even know it.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Joe can't see the monitor. I can barely see the monitor because it's so bright outside.
There's your eyepiece that you got.
There's my eyepiece, yeah.
But yeah, next week is all the acting stuff. So for Eric, our lead actor, and for Chelsea, our second lead,
it's going to be.
They are going to be
intense.
They are going to have an intense time.
Yeah.
You and I, though,
and we just get to sit back and relax.
Physically, not much there.
Hell yeah!
I'll just be asked questions like, "Why does she want to do this?"
Yeah. You'll give them the words of. What is it? What do you call that? The words of motivation? Or whatever?
Yeah, motivation.
More,
I want you to attack him.
Act intrigued. Without actually telling them what to do. It's a fine line.
So far, my directing has consisted of, okay, you're thinking this. You're considering this. You decide this.
You do this.
So I'm just, like, talking to Eric while he's driving. He's like driving with a straight face. There's no one else in the car or the seats. It's all like,
Yeah, and we don't need audio for all those, so a lot of it's just Joe and me.
And then, like,
talking.
fight scene stuff, I'm just like, okay, move here. Okay, what happens if you move like this? Okay, cool. Get the blood out. The first blood shot we had was amazing, because he, like, the guy grabs the barrel of a gun,
Yep.
and then we have the gun go off, so we put, like, this, the the blood cannon pipe
Yeah, the tube, like up his sleeve.
up his sleeve
Into his
and
hand.
like in between his fingers.
Yeah, and you can't see it.
And then we just had him just hold up the gun where it would match with the other cut.
Yeah.
And just like a spurt of blood.
And it's nasty, and it goes up along this brick wall. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
I don't think there's anything funner than that blood.
not watching the footage. I don't think there's anything funner for Joe than that. I would have to agree. I probably watched those clips back a dozen times, if not more, and every time Joe's laugh in the background is just, yeah. Joe is very happy when he gets to shoot blood.
Yeah, there will be no laughing in the final product, though.
Maybe we could keep it.
It'll just be really violent and gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Parker, we are about, in my estimation, because we got like 4 days of shooting? Like 3 days and then a half day of scheduled right now shooting on the third week.
Yeah.
And we have tons of insert shots we're going to have to go back and get.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't have time to do them.
Yeah.
And this movie is kind of about details a lot, so those insert shots are necessary.
Yeah.
We can't just throw them away.
Can't just not have him in there.
And I would never do, at least I don't think I would ever do an insert shot that's not necessary in some way.
Yeah.
But there's tons, like this whole movie is, because we only have 36 minutes of dialogue, you gotta tell the story visually.
Yeah.
So insert shots are like a huge part of
It's
this.
a very necessary component.
And so we have to go back and get those. But in my estimation, Parker, I believe we are about 1/3 of the way done with this movie. Yay.
I hope all of you are clapping for us right now.
I hope so. And my stress level is way down right now compared to what it was at the beginning of the shoot.
I ain't never been stressed, man.
That's bullshit.
I've been cool the whole way through.
You've been the most calm. Because you got me and Paige that are both drama
Yeah,
queens.
I let Paige and Joe take it all out for me. I live stressfully, vicariously through them. But no, it's been, I think it's just going to get easier from here, because especially our jobs are going to be a lot easier for the most part.
We did schedule the hard stuff first.
Yeah, we did that on purpose.
Doing that fight's going to be the biggest thing in the future. There's a little chase with the Renee character, but that's...
Yeah. Well, then we have the ending scene, too, which... Don't want to spoil it, but...
Which won't be... I don't think that'll be actually that difficult. It'll just be long.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What are we shooting this on? Tell us about what you've been doing. What's your job here? What your daily... Because my job is to answer questions and then kind of gather people and then yell at Paige to gather more people.
To be a director, you direct people.
Yeah.
We are shooting on the Blackmagic 4K cinema camera, which they don't make anymore. Funnily enough, it's out of production now. They only do the Ursa Mini, and they have the Blackmagic Pocket that also does 4K. It's a lot smaller. But yeah, we're shooting 4K, but we're gonna crop to 239. David Fincher style.
Yeah, we're going to shoot 4K, crop to 239, and also export in 1080.
Yeah.
Just because it gives us more leeway
Yeah.
in terms of what we can use in the edit.
Yeah.
So, not a 4K movie in total. We are shooting in 4K. Honestly, 4K movies, they're shooting in 8K and then cropping down to 4K.
Yeah, because there's no theaters that even play freaking 8K, so it's just...
not.
But yeah, I've been sending I send everyone stills of the daily footage to the Facebook group message that we're in. And usually it's a bloodshot, because the bloodshots are the best. And everyone loves it, especially Joe, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm just sticking some of the shots in Photoshop, is what I've been doing. I don't know, have you been liking the color that I've been putting on it?
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll talk about it more when we get to post.
Yeah.
When we cross that bridge.
Cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. It's been natural lighting so far. We haven't used any, because it's all been outdoor.
Used to bounce one day.
Used bounce one day,
Yeah.
to show kind of a change of...
But it looks good.
But it looked good, yeah. No,
If
and
you
it's
got the
looked
ND
good.
filters on there, things are properly exposed, and
Yeah.
you get a good framing on there. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. The sun's a good light.
Yeah. Utah's beautiful. A lot of people
Yeah.
think it's just some gross state in the middle of the United States, but it's actually very pretty.
And we have the most national parks.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got 5 of them, dude.
Damn.
Yeah.
What
So
are...
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that statement is true. If anybody knows that there's Zion's, Bryce Canyon.
Yeah.
Arches.
But we really do have the most?
Yeah.
Shout them again.
Yeah.
I wish
Crazy.
I wish we could film there on the national parks.
I do.
got big rules against
I
it.
wanted to film that big fight scene over in Little Sahara, which is a BLM controlled thing, but it's a fee area, and I was like, screw it.
Screw that. We don't
And I
need.
thought, like,
we're not
someone-
paying money for
I thought
that.
Some like park ranger would come up to us and be like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing?
But now I'm realizing we could have probably done it.
We probably could have done it. We've already gotten away with a lot.
$18 per vehicle, which would have pissed me off. But
Yeah.
and then every one of these driving scenes would go even further because that's like another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't
So,
sound
so
too
maybe
fun.
we're happy that we went over to
We're happy.
the other side of the lake where it gets all gross and
Yeah.
and,
But it looks
and
good.
dead looking, with giant power lines going through it.
Yeah. Which is gorgeous.
I think it does look good. I like the stills that we've seen so far. Hopefully it all cuts together. We need so many more insert shots.
A lot of inserts. Yeah.
Anyway, how do you feel about having director of photography and I had a lot of second unit direction just because we're filming vehicles, so there's not room for everybody all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And if Paige is doing sound, it's like I'm out. I can't be in here.
Can't fit in the car.
Yeah. How do you feel about having done 1/3 of a movie?
Feels pretty good.
pretty
It
good.
hasn't really set in yet that we're actually making. A part of me still feels like I'm in school, even though I've been out of school for like over a
We
year.
all were in film school together.
Yeah.
Including Eric.
Including Eric, yeah, who dropped out, I think, before all of us to really pursue acting.
Yeah.
But then we all graduated.
Paige didn't graduate.
Did she not?
No.
Oh, sorry, Paige. It's okay, Paige. You don't need to. You're already a great producer. So
Yes. Paige has really stepped in on this.
Paige is amazing. Yeah.
She wasn't sure if she could like fully produce until she decided to drop out of nursing school for a little while. Like
Yeah.
she took like a break or whatever.
Sabbatical.
And then she's like, okay, I'm in 100%. And I said, okay, you're in 100%. And then I like basically took all the crap I was doing and like,
Yeah.
that's yours now.
Yeah. Here you go.
And I would have done it half-assed, frankly.
Yeah.
So because I would be worried about the actual like movie part
Yeah.
of the movie, and not like
not the legal stuff.
not dealing with every person, you know. And
Yeah.
that's kind of, I think that's a producer's role is
Yeah.
personality management.
Yep.
It's like dealing like any like problems me and Eric have with each other. She kind of has to be the buffer. You know,
Yeah.
things like that. Not saying me and Eric are having problems with each other, but things like that
But things like that.
she has to deal with.
Yeah.
And she also has to.
She's
We don't
just-
have an AD or anything like that. It's really the producer. She's doing multiple jobs. So
Yeah. She's doing
we're all
amazing.
kind of doing multiple jobs.
We all are.
We're all kind of co-producers, but she is producing. She is being the AD.
Maybe sound a
and
lot
she's
of the
being
time.
the sound person a lot of the time.
Makeup.
So makeup as well. We were gonna
Yeah.
get a makeup person, then she's like, "Well, I've done makeup.
Yeah. And what
It's
she's
like,
done so far
oh.
is really good.
Yeah, it looks good." So, anyway, yeah, she's a superwoman right now,
She is.
and so like me and her, like mommy and daddy production.
Mommy and Daddy production. And I'm the
everybody,
baby.
and everybody always goes to mommy. By the way,
True.
it's true.
Everyone likes
But
Mommy the
anyway,
best.
she's doing amazing. The production is finally. I think we're hitting a groove a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna get some different actors in though, so we'll
Yeah,
see
that'll
what
be
happens,
interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just been like Eric in a car
Yeah.
this whole time, which I love Eric. He's awesome, but it's going to be interesting to see how he interacts with
And hopefully
New
the movie
people.
turns out right.
it. Freaking better.
Yeah, better. I mean, we're working way too hard on it.
We're
But,
busting our
but what was the thing we listened to an interview with Spike Lee the day before we started shooting, after we had like a gigantic 2-part meeting with at Paige's place.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out like the logistics of the movie right
Yeah.
before we started shooting.
Yeah.
Just like nailing every detail down,
Yeah.
which was just that was one hell of a long meeting.
Those
But
were long meetings, yeah.
what did Spike Lee say to the other director?
So Spike Lee and John Singleton, when it was a DGA
Yeah,
interview,
it's Directors Guild of America podcast.
Spike Lee was talking about his new film Black Klansman, and he said to John Singleton, he said, you know this better than anyone. Making movies is hard as a motherfucker. And the whole crowd just like starts laughing.
Well, me and Parker were laughing
Me and
because
Joe started laughing.
we just did this huge production meeting.
Yeah.
We're going to get other shots. It's like
Yeah.
it's already feeling hard before the actual movie
Yeah, it's already
started
hard.
shooting.
Yeah.
And we were just laughing. And then the next like 3 days, just kept on quoting.
We just kept saying it over
Making
and over again.
movies hard as a motherfucker.
Even to make a bad movie.
Even to make a bad movie, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's hard for Spike Lee, that makes us feel better. So.
Yeah. There's already inside jokes on the set, which we will not repeat.
Yeah. Those are for our
Unfortunately.
Those are for our extra deluxe VIP listeners that are okay with inappropriate.
No, I wouldn't. But there's one I would not repeat to anybody, just in case. Yeah. And lots of Ace of Base between Parker and I.
Oh yeah.
And
Metallica.
Yeah, but that's just me.
That's just
I'll
Joe.
bring Metallica wherever I.
Joe brings the
go.
Metallica wherever he goes.
But otherwise, yeah, I'm excited for the part of the shoot where we're going to be inside
Oh gosh, it's good. Yeah.
and
gonna be
kind of
nice.
a controlled environment,
Yeah.
and we're not stealing shots.
Yep.
We're
As fun as stealing shots is,
It is fun, but it's kind of like get in, get out.
but I feel like our luck's kind of running out. I feel like if we kept pushing
Your
it,
luck runs out.
something might happen. So.
Yeah. But anyway, that was our first week
Yeah.
of shooting. We kind of went over everything.
Yeah. First week.
Is there
down.
anything we're forgetting as far as like
I don't think so.
stuff that's happened?
It's been fun. It's a lot of blood,
A lot of blood.
fake blood, maybe some real blood. I don't know. I hope
Remember,
not.
one of the funniest things for me was we had to match the eye line, and Eric didn't want to run up the hill all the time, so our production designer, Case, he's in the National Guard or something part-time, and
Yeah.
so he's in shape.
Yeah.
And so he had to run up the hill. One of my favorite things was watching Jason Wixom, like he's holding his really realistic-looking fake AK-47 or whatever.
Yeah. M16.
M16, and he's like putting it out. I don't know. I let the army people
I know,
decide what the guns are.
I played a lot of Call of Duty.
One of the things is like watching that eye line. I saw Case. Sorry, I call him Keys all the time because I read his name and I'm
It's
like,
spelled that way,
it
yeah.
looks like it's spelled. It looks like you're supposed to say Keys.
Keys.
Anyway, he's running around in a circle on this big desert hill, and he gets to the one of the first takes. He does a smooth run and then like swan dives. I don't know if you would have saw this because you were watching Jason.
I didn't see this. No.
He like swan dives onto our pad
On
that
that
we
little-
had.
Yeah, the dinky.
And it was
mattress.
one of the funniest looking
Oh,
things
man.
ever. But then the second time he did it, Case was on that hill, and he's like, it's part of it is like smoothed over from like four wheelers driving all over it. Case gets to that part of the hill, he's got his hands up, and his legs are they're scraping, and he can't get up the hill.
No way! I don't think I knew any of this.
Oh man, it was so. Me and Paige were laughing about it pretty hard.
Oh my gosh!
Uh,
I was filming Jason, so I didn't even know what was going on
Oh
behind
my
me.
gosh, it was just amazing. That was amazing.
Oh, I just forgot to tell. Speaking of swan dives, you had to dive out of the way of a shot. I think that was day 2 or 3
Yeah, it was like day 3.
at Case's house.
Yeah.
I'm doing a shot where I swing around Thomas, the second pedophile's car, because Eric is snooping in on it and trying to like look inside. And as we come around the car, Joe thought I was going to go the other way with the camera, so he thought he was going to be out of shot. But I decided to go the other way, and Joe somehow miraculously just dove onto the grass, like perfect timing, and you don't even see him in the shot. Well, I wish you did see him in the shot, but it's a testament to Joe's supernatural diving abilities that you don't see him, because
Apparently, Eric started laughing during the take.
Eric started kind of chuckling at the end. It's still a usable take,
Okay.
but yeah.
Good.
So we got Joe diving, Case, our production designer's diving.
I will say there's one thing about our production. We never got a permanent sound person. So the thing I'm most worried about is what post-sound is going to be like.
Yeah.
So I know in most movies you got to replace everything anyway. If you're going to get distribution, you have to replace all but the dialogue sound, and so that you can have other dubbing on top of it, right? Knowing that ahead of time, it's like, well, we don't have to record sound for every take. We're just going to record it for the dialogue.
Yeah.
And so also we're not slating. So when we go back to edit that footage,
Yeah.
you got to go by days and what scenes we shot in what order. And sometimes we were out of order, Parker.
Yeah.
So, and
gonna be fun.
Parker has volunteered to be the assembly editor.
Yep.
And so that's going to be real fun for you.
It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, that's right.
I like editing.
Feel free to like say it when you're speeding, because I know you have an internal microphone in there.
Oh yeah, I guess I could have been doing that this whole time.
You could be saying like scene 52 or whatever.
Now you tell me, Joe. Now you tell me.
Well, Maybe only 1/3 of the footage will be really hard to sort through.
That's better than 3/3.
But anyway, I think we're having a good time.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the next 2/3 of the 13th cross.
I'm excited for the next third. And then it's like it's going to be a bunch of different weird stuff that we got to get.
On
Like the
third
last week, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah. It'll be good.
Yep. My credit card's running up with everybody's meals.
Hey, I bring my
I
own
know
lunch
you
for
bring
my
your
mom.
own lunch. You're saving me money.
I'm saving
Parker.
money.
But thank you to everybody who gave to the Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
You're paying our actors so that they'll actually be available and work for us, and
Yep.
that's like the most important thing is having like steady actors.
Yeah.
Because I mean, me, Parker, and Paige will do it for free. Basically, I'll do it for money. I'll pay to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
but-
Yeah. You're producing and directing.
But like getting like quality actors.
It's very hard when
is
there's no
difficult
money
when
involved.
There's no money involved.
Even if it's just a little bit of money, you can attract a lot of higher talent. So thanks, guys.
So that was super important to do, and it has proven to be very effective.
Yeah.
For the most part, only had a couple parts where we were like scrambling at the last minute to cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the week started out really hard with very little sleep, and then now I'm kind of in the groove of it.
Yeah. Oh, I feel good about it.
Now I'm ready to take a day off and forget everything I learned.
Yeah.
And then be hectic again on Monday.
Yep. Start over again.
But anyway, I was going to have a journal through this whole thing, and I did start it. I did start my journal. Yeah. But then I just, like, when I'm home after shooting, I was just like,
I can't write.
I can't do it. So this is the...
So this is the new journal?
This is the new journal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the second one. This is the second part. The first part was me bitching about the first 2 days and going, I haven't had any sleep.
I shouldn't have gone to the Slayer concert.
Yeah, and I went into more detail about each of the days, but... Yeah, Slayer concert. No, I'm glad I went to the Slayer concert, actually, because I was, like, super anxious before the first day of shooting my first feature.
Yeah. As anyone probably would be.
Yeah, and so going to a concert that's all about aggression and getting it out.
Yeah.
And
probably a good idea.
Doing a lot of headbanging and stuff like that, and just like Karen.
Yeah, your neck hurt the whole first day. You said your neck
hurt the first 3 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My neck was sore. The muscles were strained. It was good to go to that the day before because all of a sudden, like, my stress was gone. Unfortunately, Paige had the opposite experience. She had work and then straight shooting.
So she was a little...
So I just feel so bad for her, man.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I don't know how to make it up to her either. Like, I don't know.
Hopefully the movie just makes it huge.
I gotta find some like big gift to give her at the end of the production.
Big teddy bear.
Big teddy bear. I don't know if she's a teddy bear kind of gal though.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, she's kind of butch.
Give her a new gun. Buy her a gun.
Get her a gun. She's a big gun nut. She'll like a gun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys.